So welcome back to Decoy Court, where we're covering more r/am I the a-hole, with today's featured post being, am I the antagonist for having fun when my colleagues and bosses are struggling with deadlines? So OP wrote, my company is struggling with a project and has been working day and night to make sure everything is completed. Everyone is stressed out. I managed to take a 3-day off vacation and I refused to cancel it since I took the leave 8 months in advance and it is approved by the company. The day off reason is, I put family reasons. During the 3 days, I turned off my work phone and didn't check my work email. The purpose I took the leave is because it's my daughter's birthday. We have a small birthday since it's a pandemic where only me, my wife, her, and her 2 brothers got to attend. I surprised her with a VR headset. I think Oculus Quest 2 the name, forgotten since my sons ordered it and I paid. I brought 2 sets so we can play multiplayer games together. We also managed to paint the shed outside, rainbow theme, as she always wanted, so basically the 3 days was just a fun time. I uploaded all my experiences, birthday, playing VR, painting the shed, playing board games, etc. with my daughter on social media. My supervisor is furious at me because I posted things online of me having fun while the entire company is struggling and working past the clock. He said it affected the morale of the company. I argued with him that my personal life is none of his business and now my office relationship is kind of strained at the moment. So, taking the case right over to Decoy Court, where I give you my knee-jerk reaction before we read any of the top comments or the controversial comments. And honestly, with this scenario, it is very important to have a work-life balance, and just because something comes up last minute, it shouldn't have a change on whether or not they are like available. Like, you need to have your home life and your work life separate, because either if you don't, then morale in the office goes down. No one's productive. So I could see why it's more than okay for OP to live their life, and then just since the supervisor is jealous that they're having a good time and everybody else is super stressed out at work, is no reason, and probably bad management style, for them to be trying to chastise OP for living a life outside the office doors. Now, Decoy Court is just my knee-jerk reaction, but the decoy defense has got to be something that's going to be the inverse of that. How could you paint the supervisor in a good light and OP in a bad light? And, what if this wasn't a vacation that was just planned because it's the birthday, where we didn't know we were going to go into crunch time, but maybe this is like a video game company that is producing a video game they know needs to be released sometime in November, so everybody goes in these crazy crunch periods of time where they know years in advance, November is our busy time, October is our busy time. So for OP to say, oh, I'm going to take vacation right at the time that the job starts to suck is kind of an unfair thing. Or maybe they say it's a company and office or whatever, but maybe there's a bit of grammatical errors all throughout this story. What if it's not just like a business making a product or like a toy or something? It's a company that is like a military company that's going underground to rescue like Chilean miners that are doing coal mine, and then their mine collapses. So it's not like, oh, we're stressed out at work. It's they're actually trying to dig to save some lives, and then OP's the only one that knows how to use the diamond tip drill bit that knows how to save them in record time. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that, going underground, saving some lives. They got families and stuff. My daughter, she wants to play Oculus Quest 2. I want to paint this shed. I mean, I can't be bothered by that. So, although the decoy defense is oftentimes something wacky, I could see that being a scenario where it's not just like, hey, we got to make a toy, we're doing something regular. It's a situation where like lives are at stake and OP's just like, you know what? Pass. So that's the Decoy Court, the decoy defense. I guess the official judgment before we go in those top comments is going to say that you're not the antagonist, and that supervisor, you probably kind of are the antagonist right now. So that's my judgment. So right now, as always, I ask if you're enjoying what I'm doing with the Decoy Court defense and the live reading and the filtration system I'm doing, where it's making a G-rated and getting rid of those typos for you. Make sure you're subscribing down below, turning on those notifications so you can join that Decoy Koi pond while we take this break, and I give you a moment to give me your feedback as to who you think the antagonist here, and if it was Chilean coal miners, should they stop taking their vacation with their daughter and try to be rescuing some lives? I don't know, but let's go ahead and say take that break and go find those top comments right now. So the top comment is, not the antagonist, but why have your boss on social media in the first place? You obviously will look like the antagonist to them, though I understand where they're coming from. And I don't agree with any of that. That's a top comment, but I mean, you can have a good relationship with your subordinates and your superiors as long as you're somewhat of a reasonable person. I don't think that if I was having a hard day at work and I approved of somebody having some time off and they're enjoying their time off, I mean, I want to be able to enjoy my time off. I want to be able to like unplug from work and just go unwind for a while. I would never chastise anybody for doing the same thing. But the OP came back to reply and said, We were kind of friends. I didn't think uploading these things would cause some drama. I guess I'll block some of them in the future, which is a sad thing. Lesson learned, OP, you gotta walk away from the job. You gotta make sure that you are disconnecting yourself from everybody else in the world and just say, look, we're office acquaintances at best. And the reply to that was, block, delete, or hide the contents. Do this with all your colleagues. If any of them will see, most will probably chit-chat in the office. Do not trust them. And that's a sad thing, as I realize that more and more people are having their Instagram account and all their public stuff, but they have a secret Instagram account for like their sorority buddies or their drinking buddies or people they're hooking up with and everything, where it's like, yes, here's my real personal account, but I'm also putting out a face for the public out there as well, which is a sad reality of 2020. So the next reply was, not the antagonist. You're right. It's your personal time. You can do with it what you want. I document this with HR if you have it at your company. And you don't want to escalate these situations at all, but this may or may not be something they need to do. And the next reply was, if no HR or HR is garbage, start a journal for the shady stuff they start to pull, which is a sad thing where now all of a sudden, because OP wanted to have a vacation, they need to start like lining up their ducks in a row in case they get a bad review later on, or they're getting terminated from their employment later on because they went on a vacation. Now they have to start lawyering up. It's a sad reality, but it is kind of what's going on right now. So oftentimes the prosecution lies within the top comments, but let's go ahead and see the defense of the controversial comments. And the top controversial comment is, I need more information, or soft, you're the idiot. Answers to these questions would help to make a general call. 1. Was your boss involved in approving the leave in the first place? 2. Is your company policy to go completely radio silent during time off, or do they expect you to be able to respond to text if there's emergency or they need your opinion? 3. Was there any lead up to the days you were taking off that indicated that it was going to be a work surge, as in a deployment, launch, last week contract, etc.? Prior to the days you took off, I can assume that the team at least knew that it was going to have to make a final push. You are well within your rights to take those days off, but you should also be aware of the actions having consequences. Additionally, anything that is posted publicly or linked to an account that your direct supervisor has access to could be considered public, and it's reasonable to assume that they will see it. You posting fun PTO pictures while the team is likely working 10+ hour days and potentially weekends is going to cause discord in your group and likely impact the team player aspect that a lot of places use for the end of period performance ratings. If those don't exist in your line of work, then you'll probably just end up with those people being cold to you and other general behavior like them being less collaborative or hostile. If you're in the line of work that has these type of ratings, I would expect these actions to affect your personal potential year-end increase or possible promotion in the near future. Is it particularly fair that you otherwise have been doing good work? No, but when other team members end up having to pick up the slack, they tend to remember it and hold a grudge. -7 points, and they got a controversial rating on this post, but I think that this is a sad reality of what the real world is, not the whole like, you're entitled to PTO, take it. But this is a person that probably has a long time experience in the field where deadlines are a thing, or a crunch time occurs, or emergency crunch time comes out of nowhere where it's like, oh, we didn't realize we had to do this job, but now we do. So OP might or might not have just been socially expected to not take the time off. Is it going to impact their ability to move forward in the company? Likely. Is it unfair? Likely. But it's just, that's the reality of things. So I hate the fact that they got -7 points for bringing in real world experience. Let's go ahead and see that last controversial comment says, so there are several issues. 1, you are the antagonist for having fun while your colleagues self-combust. 2, are you the antagonist for posting on social media? And 3, are you unwise for posting on social media? 4, do your coworkers have the right to be pissed? Answers. 1, unless your boss and coworkers have been intolerably unkind, rude, and unfair to you, then yes, you're the antagonist for not helping out at least a few hours a day. Good luck with getting them to cover you when you're in an emergency. That is true. 2, did you post on social media to gloat to your coworkers or to brag to acquaintances, or as kind of a performative self-congratulations on your parenting? Like, honestly, what was the point of that? 3, it was unwise to post where your coworkers and boss would see it. 3 or 4, yeah, your coworkers and your boss have had their noses rubbed in your disdain for them and for your good job. How old are you? Do you have an intention to stay at this job? And I think that would be an important thing. Like, do they plan on being there forever? Do they want to climb up in this ladder, or is it just a way for them to collect a paycheck, go on vacation, and enjoy their life? Because that would probably be the key contributing factor here. Is it, do they really care about this job, or do they just want to move on, collect a paycheck, and not care later on? Because that would be the ultimate indicator as to, is this something they should care about? Because if they don't give a crap about their boss, their work, their performance, they just want to you know, have a good time while they're getting paid a decent paycheck, then of course, okay, yeah, they could be an antagonist. They can alienate themselves from all their coworkers, and there's no problem behind that. So I can kind of see that being a thing. If they want to move forward in the company and later on they get mad that they didn't get a promotion, they don't get a raise, and they're not being recognized for their good work, yeah, you can kind of see where, yeah, you probably shouldn't have taken that vacation. But that's just kind of my knee-jerk reaction to all these different situations here. I mean, I would always say that if you like the new format, the new take where I'm trying to condense everything, where I'm going to make all these different playlists so you can kind of subscribe down below, turn the notifications on, but it's not like those other Reddit reading channels where they don't give a personalized approach like I do with the ridiculous decoy defense, but also just these are bite-sized episodes, not a 30-minute episode every day where you can pick and choose which episodes you watch. And also, if you want to watch a long-form thing, you just turn on a playlist of Am I the Antagonist? Family fights. Am I the Antagonist? Coworker issues. Am I the Antagonist? Relationship revenge. Like, there's different things that you can kind of just fall down the rabbit hole of, and then if you don't like that particular topic, you just push next and you're fine. If you don't want to hear the decoy defense, you push next and you're fine. It's just an easier way for you to navigate the world of Reddit reading channels and commentary. So as always, thanks for checking this video out. If you would, please subscribe down below, turn the notifications on, but if nothing else, go ahead and check these next videos out coming up next.